members of your team, as a lead peer, members of your team are being selected to represent Young Health Program in a certain committee. Members of the Young Health Program are being selected to represent the Young Health Program in the government and stuff. And being given that opportunity as a young person, just to speak, just to address the people, it raises your mindset to a way different level. And you start thinking about the community. You start thinking about the people that are in the community.
Cancer, diabetes, obesity, hypertension, and asthma are all examples of non-communicable diseases, and sadly, these diseases are the leading cause of death globally. But do they really affect us here in Africa? And are Africans really living with these diseases? Find out here at the African NCD Champions podcast as we share incredible stories of Africans living with non-communicable diseases. My name is Ogweno Stephen and I'll be your host. Let's roll!
Greetings and welcome to another episode of the African NCD Champions podcast, where we meet and talk to incredible people across the continent working on non-communicable diseases and improving health across communities. This series, we will be talking about the Young Health Program and talking to actual people who have been implementing this program in Kenya. The Young Health Program is a program implemented by Plan Kenya and funded by AstraZeneca, and it's a 10-year program that has been running in Kenya, targeting young people in the slum areas of Kibera and Mathare, working to improve their access to knowledge on non-communicable diseases and sexual reproductive health, access to services, and also influencing policy and change. Today, we'll be talking to a peer educator and a peer lead who was part of the individuals implementing this program in Mathare. He'll be sharing with us a little bit of his experience and how he engaged in this program. And without further ado, again, give us a quick introduction to yourself, who you are and how we got here.
Yes, thank you very much, Steve. My name is Stephen Irungu Mwangi. I am a lead peer educator with the Young Health Program, Kenya. I'm based in Mathare 4A to be precise. We have had an amazing time with the Young Health Program, and being in Mathare, we have learned a lot, and I'm glad to share with you this afternoon.
Yeah, cool. So let's start from the very top. How did you become a peer educator, and then how did you become a lead for other peer educators in Mathare 4A?
Oh wow! I can back it back when YHP was starting around in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was a volunteer in the administration office. I started volunteering when I was way young.
Mm-hmm.
So being there, when the Young Health Program came, I heard there was an opportunity through the chief's office. And being a person who was in the front and registering people who have issues, taking them to the administration and getting back with the feedback, I had to take the front opportunity to apply into the program. And that is how I was picked as a Young Health Program volunteer. And we had around 12 peer educators by that time in Mathare 4A part, and a total of 39 peer educators all over Mathare. So an opportunity to become a lead peer educator came across, and I also applied. I think there was that aspect of also being volunteered by my peers, because I believe I was born a leader. So my character led me into that way. even without, taking myself to pick the lead peer educator post. Yeah.
I see. So as a lead peer educator, and you had already been volunteering at the administration office in Mathare, so you're already working with people anyway.
Yes.
So how many educators did you lead as a lead peer educator in Mathare 4A? And also, what was the composition of 4A? What was your environment looking like at in Mathare 4A?
Yeah. By that time, talking about Mathare 4A, we had around 7 villages in Mathare 4A. Compared to right now, the mapping is different all across the country. We have different constituencies. We have a merger of constituencies that were kind of small and everything, change of the wards and everything. But by then, we had 7 villages, and with the 7 villages, I can say Mathare 4A was densely populated. Mathare 4A was densely populated. So with my 12 peer educators, what I did, we did like pairing. So 2 per village, 2 per village, and then the one village that was left, we had to do like a circular exchange. This month you're doing your village and the other village. This month you're doing your village and the other village. Across the way, due to pandemics that arise in Mathare, sometimes fires arise, sometimes we have conflicts here and there. We had 2 extra villages that were formed in that process. So, namely Cliff area and an area known as the LM that was not initially on the plan for YHP in the mapping. So with that came a whole lot of change, because now we had to see ways in which we could also reach that person who is living in the Cliff area, that person who is living in the LM area. Yeah, and dynamics had to play here and there. Yes.
I see. So, as part of, I'm sure, as part of someone who lives in Mathare and probably has engaged a couple of programs, you've seen that a lot of health programs come into the community.
Yes.
And once the program is done, then the program ends. So, what was your but with the Young Health Program, I guess the question is, how have you seen this program stabilize itself or stage itself in a way that it's going to be sustainable, and in a way that even after the program actually ends, that the activities continue to carry on?
In comparison to other organizations and other groups that are in the community, I want to appreciate Young Health Program and its staff so much, because number one, the approach that the Young Health Program came with in the community was kind of unique. Number one, the idea already was there, but number one, the first thing they did, they sat with the leaders of the community. They brought in the what we call the Nyumba Kumi, people who represent an area of the village in places of power and stuff. So we had CHPs also who came on board. We had religious leaders who came on board. That is at the beginning of the program, just to sit down and see, here we have a program that is meant for the young people. How would you guys want us to run it? What will you want us to include in the program, so that the program can meet its designated targets? And with this, it brought a lot of ownership, first from the community, because now the community owned the program, and you could see even when facilitating the sessions. For example, we have scheduled a session for next week on Monday or Tuesday. The approach will come from the community leader, who will ask, I'm at the venue, I'm at the site. Where are you guys? When are we beginning the session? I've already mobilized for you. You said I mobilized 15 girls and 10 boys. I've already mobilized them. Where are you guys? So the drive was coming from the community due to the initial inclusion in preparing like how we'll roll in to Madare during the program. So this one has created a lot of sustainability, and we have seen even a flow into the way we do our events, into the way we do our activities. We have seen people trying to partner with the Young Health Program at every extent, because the community believes without the Young Health Program, the activity that you guys are doing, we won't see it much meaningful without the Young Health Program. There's a program made of young people, a program that is owned by everyone. Also, with the peer educators that we have been in the program since then, we have been exposed so much. And at the beginning, a lot of peer educators were green on things that are happening and everything. I can begin by saying the first plane that I boarded, it was courtesy the Young Health Program. And I didn't know whether one day I could board a plane or something. So the exposure is so much, and you can see like members of your team, as a lead peer, members of your team are being selected to represent Young Health Program in a certain committee. Members of the Young Health Program are being selected to represent the Young Health Program in the government and stuff, and being given that opportunity as a young person just to speak, just to address the people, it raises your mindset to a way different level. And you start thinking about the community. You start thinking about the people that are in the community. And with this, you find that a lot of other organizations have been formed by the peer educators, others addressing girls and their issues, others addressing children, others addressing the non-communicable diseases themselves, because now we have the knowledge and stuff, and we are very confident that the program has left a mark in the community that will not be erased in the near future.
Yeah, thank you very much for that very detailed contribution. And you also mentioned in your contribution that a lot of the young people who are peer educators from the program have actually gone ahead and started their own small organizations in the community addressing various components of the program. So be it on the sexual reproductive health side, be it on NCDs, and be it on some of these other issues on the program. So my question is, has any local institutions or governments been able to adopt some of the aspects of the program into their policies and their services?
Okay, thank you for the question, Steve. And yes, when we started the Young Health Program, our scope of work was in school and in the community. And in school, when we went to the schools, our program targets to talk about unhealthy diet, tobacco, alcohol, air pollution, SRH, gender, and all those other stuffs. But now specifically on the area of unhealthy diet, a lot of schools had one meal from Monday to Monday, each and every day.
Same meal.
The same meal, and it was not even a quality meal, because most of the schools were consuming what we call corn and meals made from corn. So that is from Monday to Monday. So speaking about unhealthy diet, they also came to an understanding, because we could have meetings with the directors, meetings with the champion teachers, meetings with the head teachers, and also the same concept that we are talking to students in school. We also talk to them and try to create awareness also to them, because decision making does not lie with the student himself or herself. Even when we talk about matters to do with the tobacco, you realize maybe at home the parent may be the one who is using the tobacco, and the child has not much to say about the behaviors of the dad. So we noticed we have to go an extra mile to train that parent. After we train the kid, we train that champion teacher, we train that school director. And from these outreaches, a lot of schools in our area have now adopted a whole plan for the whole week that consists of healthy diet, whereby you find on Monday they are eating rice, on Tuesday they are having something to do with ugali and sukuma wiki, on Wednesday they are having something to do with githeri, and all these courtesy of the Young Health Program. And we are also appreciative of our county government, because in our public school, we only have one public school in Mathare Foe. In the public school, we have what we call Dishina County, whereby they are offering subsidized meals to the students, and the meals also are balanced in a way when it comes to nutrition needs and everything. And the other thing also that we found in our community during inception, working with the youth groups and that exist in our area, we noticed that most of the youth groups were dominated by the male gender. Almost all of the youth groups were dominated by the male gender. And now speaking about gender and gender equality, it was very difficult for us, because you could find the whole group is male. Our mode of mobilization sometimes could lead us to mobilize from the youth groups, whereby this month you're having this group, the other month you're having this other group. And so it was a challenge, because now in our reporting you have to report both the male and the female. And also on the discussions around gender and gender equality, you cannot have the discussions without both genders available in the sitting. So we started making these interventions to encourage the male gender, that having the female even in the positions of power is not suppressing them, and it's not a competition. And right now, as we are speaking, we have even groups that are led by the girls. We have groups that are for girls alone, the women alone, the ladies alone groups. The groups that are on the ground, you will not find a single group that is male only, or that is for boys alone. All the groups have that mixture, whereby we have 5 girls, we have 7 boys. Some of these ladies are involved even in the leadership positions, secretary, chair ladies, treasurers, name it, all of those. So that one is courtesy of the program, the Young Health Program. Another thing, in our facilities and in government spaces specifically, we had a deficiency whereby the youth could not access services, especially in government spaces. For example, in a hospital, a young person has been engaged with issues to do with SRH. For example, they are underage, or for example, they have infections or something. When they go to the facilities, they were being told, you contracted that infection because you are this type and this type. They were being told bad things, because those that were in those positions were people who are very elderly. But we started advocacy, and the advocacy journey, whereby we wanted to see in every facility we have a youth desk, advocating for youth-friendly services, whereby you, as a youth, you can go and find your fellow youth in a police station and tell them your issue without handling the matters in your own hands. Whereby in a hospital, you can be able to find a fellow young person and ask them about contraceptives, ask them about a condition that you are experiencing in your body without fear of discrimination, victimization, or something. And speaking as per now, we have more than 5 facilities that have already embraced that system, having a young person, and actually we normally have meetings with them oftenly just to update them on emerging trends and factors. Yeah, so there are lots to mention, but allow me to mention the few for now.
All right, cool. Yeah, you've mentioned quite a bit in terms of how different aspects of the Young Health Program have been absorbed from the community side, from the government side, and from the facility side.
Yeah.
From the community side, we see there's a lot more gender balance in terms of group representation and leadership. From the government side, we've seen a lot of new policies that the government has involved young people in, ensuring that we are involved in the policy processes. And even at the facility side, we see the youth-friendly services really take up root in the community. And these are some of the incredible ways that you just mentioned that the various aspects of the Young Health Program has really merged with some of the work in the community. Yeah, so thank you very much again for those contributions. And the last question that I wanted to ask and find out is, you mentioned already about some of the young people really taking up the project and even creating their own initiatives in the community. Could you go a step deeper and give us some few examples of some of these young people in the community that you know, and some of these initiatives that they've started, courtesy of them being involved with the Young Health Program in the community?
Thank you. On this question, I want to give credits to our staff at the Young Health Program, because they have been encouraging us since we began the journey for the Young Health Program, just showing us the light out here around the world, encouraging us to push ourselves even further. And I would want to say we started first as a team from the Young Health Program, all of us. The first initiative that we began when we are all of us with the little stipend that we were receiving from the program, we thought of what can we do in the community that can assist us as peer educators, that can empower us economically and even extend to the rest of the community. So we formed a group. We formed a group and registered the group. Actually, the group was known as Wealthy Healthy. We are healthy
and wealthy.
At the same time, we are wealthy. So the aim of this group, we were contributing a little amount each month from the stipend and putting the amounts somewhere, so that when one of us maybe has an issue or maybe has a sickness, in case of sickness, death, or something from their end, we could support them. And gradually, as we were continuing, we noticed that we need more. Through the exposure that we are getting to in the community, actually there are a lot of needs that require us as peer educators to take the first step forward. And from this, different peer educators have taken up their own initiatives, from the community leaders and people who look like proactive in the community, identifying them and leading the way to form an organization, for example, to tackle a particular challenge. To be precise, let us talk about the upcoming African Youth Organization. That is an organization that we had before joining the Young Health Program. But now, after the Young Health Program, we started seeing things in a different way. Because before then, we were doing only cleanups in the community. We were having pads drive in the community and stuff, things that were at that level. Interacting with YHP, we started opening our eyes and seeing, wow, we can have different aspects in the organization. We can have an NCD, an NCD department within the organizations, because now we have the information and we can lead that very well. And actually, as we are talking, we have started something that is known as the Simua, the Simua Club. The Simua Club is all about ensuring that in the schools that we are as the Young Health Program, when the Young Health Program ends, the process still continues. We are still continuing to teach NCDs in the school. Actually, what we have done with the graduates that were in school, because the program allows for the participants to be in the program for only 3 months, and then they graduate. We have picked all those graduates that were in school and just making them like school champions, who will be walking to their schools, their former schools, because some were in class 6, class 7, now going to 8, they have to graduate to the secondary. Now they are going back to their schools now, but now not as a student, but now as a facilitator for the NCDs. Under our program as an organization, which we are calling the program the Simua Club. And apart from that, that's just one. We have other several that when we start talking about the works that they are doing on the ground, you will be amazed. Yeah. So actually, all this courtesy the Young Health Program, and we are very happy for Plan International. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much for all of those contributions. I think it really paints the picture of how the program has set itself to really be sustainable, how the program has influenced a lot of activities on the ground, and how the program has also inspired new leadership and new community approaches. So thank you very much for coming again and for sharing these experiences, and we are hoping that the work continues and the impact continues. Yes, thank you very much, and to everyone watching, we'll see you on the next one.
Now that was incredible. Thank you for listening in. Share this with your networks and follow us on all social media at Storylink and at NCD Champions. See you on the next one.